I mentioned Debbie Wasserman-Shultz. Let me tell you about the story. This is interesting. This whole payday lending thing. There is Allied Progress sent me a press release this morning. Groups of civil rights policy and issue advocacy groups are calling on Representative Debbie Wasserman-Schultz to go further on payday lending reform and abandon her support of the so-called Florida model of payday lending laws. And in a letter released today, this is the press release, in a letter released today, several civil rights policy and issue advocacy organizations lauded, as in applauded, congratulated, Representative Debbie Wasserman-Schultz, D. Florida, for being an original sponsor of the Stopping Abuse and Fraud in Electronic Lending Act of 2016. It's called the SAFE Act. At the same time, the groups challenged her to stop undermining President Obama and the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau in their efforts to rein in the worst abuses of predatory payday lenders. Those signing on to the letter include representatives from Allied Progress, the Leadership Conference on Civil and Human Rights, Center for Responsible Lending, Americans for Financial Reform, People's Action Institute, National Council of La Raza, and CFED. And they say, while the SAFE Act would protect consumers from some of the worst practices of the predatory lending industry, Representative Wasserman-Schultz is also co-sponsoring H.R. 4018, and as the letter notes, this legislation would export the problematic Florida model of payday lending laws, which have been a disaster for consumers. So, you know, they're giving her the carrot and the stick, shall we say. And this letter is signed by Carl Frisch, our friend. He's been a fill-in host for me on this show. I was on a TV show last week. He's the CEO now, or whatever, executive director of Allied Progress, and then the Leadership Council on Civil and Human Rights, and et cetera, et cetera. Whoa. Somehow all of the calls on our line, on our call screen software, just vanished. That's really strange. Anyhow, in March, Allied Progress launched the Debt Trap Debbie campaign with a television ad in Wasserman-Schultz's South Florida district and an online petition at Debt Trap Debbie calling on her to stop sabotaging President Obama's hard work to hold payday lenders accountable. She's received over $68,000 in contributions from the payday loan industry while in Congress, and is a co-sponsor of a bill that would delay protections for borrowers while paving the way for payday lenders to continue preying on vulnerable Americans. It's going to be interesting to watch. It's going to be interesting to see if she stays the head of the DNC. It's going to be interesting to see how that all gets dealt with after the convention in Philadelphia in July. There's a whole bunch of things here that are going to be really interesting to watch and see what's going on. And so, anyhow, keep your eye on this space. I have a feeling, my personal guess, my personal suspicion on this, is that she's going to dial back on her support of basically the payday lending industry. But time will tell. We'll see.
To watch more clips from our programs, hit the Watch More Videos button over here. And please be sure to hit the handy-dandy subscribe button so you'll always be up to date. Tag, you're it.